Alright, so this is just going to be a quick video on how to replace the hard drive on a 13-inch MacBook Pro model A1278, early 2011. So just remove all the screws from the bottom. These are PH00 screws, or actually PH0 screws, okay? And the three back here are much longer, so it's a good idea to keep them in order. Even if they are the same size, I like to keep the screws in order, just in case they're slightly different. And the way I do that is I just put them in the layout that I remove them. So you see this rectangular shape, I just put them on my desk in that shape, okay? So we're going to continue removing all these screws. Alright, once you remove all the screws, we got to remove the cover. Just go on the back here with your fingers and pull it up, just like that, okay? Cover will come off like that. I'm going to clean it off because it's a little dusty. You can actually see the RAM here, so to get out the RAM, you just pull these two tabs to the side and it pops up like that. This is DDR3 or PC3 10600S, so if you want, match those specs, the PC3 10600S, and then you can get two 4 gig sticks, you can get two 8 gig sticks, whatever fits in the computer. Alright, so we're just gonna put that back in. The battery connector is here. If you want to remove it, you just pop this up just like that, okay, and this connector comes out. There's just these two screws here holding it down, but they are tri-wing screws, so they're special screws. Anyways, we're going to remove the hard drive. So there's two PH0 screws here. Undo those screws, then you can pull this bracket up. Then you have this little plastic tab you can use to pull, but a lot of times this tab just breaks, so if you can't, just get underneath the hard drive like this. And you don't want to pull the hard drive right away because this cable is here. So you want to disconnect this cable. Let's zoom in. And what you do, I just use my finger or fingernail along here, and I kind of just get it along there and pull that back just like this, okay? So here's the hard drive. We are going to have to use, I think this is a T8. Let's see. Or it might be a T6 screw. Yeah, we have to use a smaller one. Okay, so I don't think a T5 will work, but yeah, T6, okay? Okay, so we're going to use a T6 screwdriver. And we're just going to remove these 4 screws, and we're going to transfer these screws over to the new hard drive. They're upgrading to an SSD, so we're going to transfer that over. If you wanted to replace your hard drive, because there's no data on here, you are going to have to transfer your operating system over or the data over first. So what you can do is when you have your computer booted, since this hard drive isn't working, I'm going to have to do it a different way, but I'll show you a couple ways to do this. Alright, so I'm going to also take off this plastic tab and transfer that over to the SSD as well. Okay, so we're going to get a 480 gig Crucial BX500 SSD. You can use whatever, as long as it's a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive, okay? And we're just going to stick that back on there. Then we're going to get these 4 screws and just put them into the sides of this. On a lot of these models, if your computer isn't working, it could be this hard drive cable that's actually bad. So if that's the case, then you will have to replace that hard drive cable. I do have a video on that, but I'm not going to do it on this one because the cable seems to be fine. So we are going to be just replacing the hard drive with the SSD. Okay, so if your computer is fine, there's a few ways. So you'd want to create a time machine backup. After the time machine backup finishes, you can actually connect your time machine backup to the computer. Press and hold the option button while you turn your computer on while it's starting up, and then you can actually load the time machine backup and follow the on-screen instructions to restore the backup. If you didn't create a time machine backup and your hard drive is dead, then the other option you're going to have to do is an internet recovery. And on some models you can do this, on some model the internet recovery is dead. So it really depends. But anyways, I'm going to clean the dust out real quick and I will be back. Alright, I'm back. So I cleaned it up a little bit. We put the SSD in there. I'm going to close this up. Let's zoom out. It's way too far. Alright, so now we're going to put the screws back in. Okay, and then the other option, because we already removed the hard drive, so this is assuming that your hard drive is dead. There's an online recovery mode, and if that doesn't work, then I have another method, but you need another hard drive with a Mac OS. You might have to borrow someone's Mac to do this. Alright, so let me finish with this. I have a customer here, so I'm gonna have to finish this real soon. Okay. Alright. Oh, actually, did I not put back that bracket? Oops. Let me make sure I put back that bracket. But I think I have a customer here, so I might have to pause again and come back. Screwing back in that bracket that holds the hard drive in place, so I need to make sure that that's in. Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't screw it down. I put it in place, but I didn't screw it in. Make sure that you screw that down. I mean, if it's an SSD, it's not going to matter if it moves around a little, but still, you don't want to just leave that loose. Okay, and now we'll put these screws all back in. Alright, and then there's a few things you also want to do after changing the hard drive. Oh, customers here. So there's PRAM reset, SMC reset, and then the internet recovery. So I'm gonna have to meet with my customer real quick, and I will be back. Just get all these screws back in. Alright, I will be back in a bit. Alright, so now that we're done, we're gonna flip this over. Alright, open this up. Okay, and then what you're gonna wanna do is plug the MacBook in. Alright, let's get your charger, plug it in. Usually if the Mac's not completely charged, it'll be an orange light, but this one I think, okay, it is orange. So what you do for the SMC reset, Control Option Shift on the left side, and then press the power button. The light will go to green, and then it'll go back to orange. That's how you know you did it right. There we go. If your battery is fully charged, it'll just stay green and you won't know if you did it right. But anyways, now you want to do a PRAM reset, so power on the thing, immediately do Command Option P and R, press and hold that. The screen should come on, and then it should go back off if you're doing it right. So it's starting up, okay? And then the screen, there you go, it turns back off, so that's how you know you did it right. I'm going to hold the Option key just so it doesn't boot up all the way. But this will show you like the boot options. Right now, because there's no OS or anything on the drive, it's completely blank. So I'm going to use the SMC reset to just turn it off. And then what we're going to do is try and do the internet recovery. So power it on and then do Command R. Okay. And if you're doing this right, it will give you the internet connection thing. So here you see it says starting internet recovery. I'm most likely not going to use this because the customer, I'm going to be putting High Sierra on this one because that's the last OS that it accepts. But you would basically choose your wireless here. So let me log into one. Actually, let me take this off the screen. Okay, so log into the Wi-Fi. And then this thing will download the internet recovery tools. So I don't really want to do that because it's gonna take forever and it's an old OS, but basically this will continue. Then you'll go to the disk manager thing. I forgot what it's called, but the disk manager, and then you just want to format your drive depending on your OS. If you're using the newer ones, it'll be APFS. If it's the older ones, it'll just be like the extended journaled. And then after you format that, you can close it and then go to the Reinstall the Mac Os. If you're not sure how to do that, feel free to post a comment in the comment section below and I'll show that. But that'll take a while to show and it's pretty straightforward, so I'm gonna leave that part out. Anyways, I'll show part of it with doing this. So I have High Sierra on this SSD. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect that SSD here and I'm gonna boot it up. So there's two options. Usually you can hold the option key here, and with this drive connected, it's gonna show the hard drive boot options. All right, give it a bit, there you go. And you'll see there's the recovery option and the High Sierra option. So if you do the recovery option, it'll do what I was talking about earlier, but with the newer operating system. But Apple changed it now, so it's a little bit different. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boot the OS from here. And I'll show you another way that you can boot or install the operating systems. So actually I can try it this way first, but if you reset your battery, it's gonna complain because the date and time will be wrong. So if you took your battery out and you're doing this, the date and time will be messed up and then it's not gonna work right. So let me do it this way and I'll show you. There's a similar stuff that I have to do on here, so I'll show that as well. So I'll show the disk utility thing that I have to format the drive, and then hopefully that will be enough that you can do it the internet recovery way if you want. But I have a customer waiting outside, so I don't want to do it the slow way because then he'll be waiting there for a long time. So this is actually taking a long time to boot. I don't know why. It's booting off my external SSD, so it shouldn't take so long. But come on. I told my customer about 10 minutes, but I don't know, it might take longer than that if it's gonna boot this slow. If it's booting this slow, there might actually be another hardware issue with this computer, or maybe really their hard drive cable is bad. And it was showing the EFI installer partition before, which is usually it's trying to install. Okay, so it booted. It's showing my login, so I'm just gonna log in. I guess you can see my password's just password for this thing. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna boot this up here. Let me let this stuff close. The brightness is down, so let me turn that up all the way. Okay, so usually what happens when you have a blank disk, it'll tell you to initialize the drive. Uh-oh, I think they actually have a video card issue or something. That might actually be the RAM. So I'm going to check the RAM. Hopefully it's the RAM and not a video card. I'm going to power this off because now it's completely frozen. So I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to check the RAM. Well, I guess you guys can see this. I'm going to clean off the sticks of RAM. And hopefully that will fix the problem. But now my customer's going to be waiting out there a while. I need to hurry up with this. Maybe that's why it took so long to start up. Okay, let's take all these screws out. I hope it's just their RAM, because otherwise it's not going to be worth fixing this thing, because this is such an old MacBook. If it's the video chip issue, but usually when the Mac beeps like that, that's a RAM issue. Okay, so let's get all of these out. Alright, so now let's get the RAM out. So I'm going to get both sticks of RAM out here. And just pull these two tabs out to the side and the RAM comes out. And a lot of times the RAM is just like dirty or something, so you just wipe the pins off like that. You do want to make sure that you're grounded, touching some metal things so that you don't let out static into the pins. Okay, and we're just going to clean that, or into the stick of RAM. Okay. And hopefully that'll be good. I'm going to flip it over without putting the screws back in, because you don't need to see me put the screws back in again. Okay, and just know that I'll put the screws back in later. You don't really need to watch that. All right, let's put this hard drive back in. Power it back on again. Let it boot up. Come on. It should be able to find the right boot device on its own. I don't know if I have to hold the Option key. Come on. Boot, boot, boot. No, I might have to hold the Option key to do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it. Do a SMC reset again. Hold the Option key. And since it's booting from an external device, it probably doesn't know to look for that hard drive, so I'm holding the Option key so that way I can manually select it. Okay, then the hard drive shows up here, and I'll just choose High Sierra. Hopefully this will go faster this time. But this is about how long you would expect to wait if you were doing this. So yeah, sometimes it goes faster, sometimes not. So if it still takes forever, or if it starts glitching again, then there's probably some other issue with this computer, and we're gonna consider it dead. But let's see. Come on. I want this to hurry because I have another customer waiting outside for me. Come on, come on. Okay, I feel like it was faster this time. Alright, so we'll log in. Alright, let's see here. Let me make sure. So it pops up that initialize your disk thing again. Let me show you that. Let me close this. Okay, so it pops up this, and then I'm just going to ignore it for now because this is the easier way is you click initialize if that shows up. But if it doesn't, what you want to do is go at the top here, click on go to utilities. In the utilities, you go to the disk utility here, and you'll see the hard drive here. So what you want to do is show all devices in this top corner here. And here you see the internal disk. So it says uninitialized. So what I'm going to do is go to the erase option here. And then I'm going to leave it on Mac OS Extended Journal just because it's easier to work with. But if you want, you can do APFS if you have the newer OS. High Sierra was the first one that supported APFS, but this hard drive that's in here right now is not formatted for APFS, or this drive. So you can name it whatever you want. I just name it Macintosh SSD, and then I leave a GUID partition map, and this is macOS Extended Journal. Alright, so erase that. Then what you want to do, make sure you're connected to the internet. Okay, I'm going to close all this, open the web browser, and then what you want to do in the search bar, just search Mac OS High Sierra download, depending on what you need. And then Apple will have this download Mac OS High Sierra, or they have this, this isn't the one I want actually. So they have this how to get older versions of Mac OS. That's what you want to click. Then when you go in here, they have the different options: Catalina, Mojave, High Sierra, Sierra, El Capitan, and Yosemite. I'm going to put High Sierra. It'll open up the App Store for you. And then just click on download. Mine says open because I already have it downloaded here, I think. And it should pop up here. Okay, and then just click continue. And then it will ask, click agree, agree. It's going to show your hard drive, but I don't want to install it there, so you want to click show all disks, and then you click on the gray one because this is the internal, this is external hard drive. So I'm going to install it on the internal drive. Click OK, enter your password again. That's your login password, so password is password. And there we go. So it's going to install. After that, it'll tell you it's going to restart the computer and just let it run through. But that's pretty much all there is to this. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, please like and subscribe. Help others find my videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. One thing I forgot to mention, when you're installing High Sierra or a new OS, sometimes the screen will go blank and then it will like beep at you, going beep. And don't panic, that's normal. That's doing like a system firmware kind of update thing. So don't force shut it off or disconnect any power, just let it run and it should be okay. It'll finish eventually. Alright, so again, keep that in mind, because some people, they'll panic. They might think something happened to their machine and then they'll like press the buttons and screw stuff up. So just let it run and you'll be fine. All right, bye.